This month is bookend by new moons. The first arrives in Scorpio and is ideal for switching up beauty routines or trying something different in bed. Divine Mercury shifts into Sagittarius, helping us share our feelings even if we need to be careful with delivery. Mars also moves into fire sign Leo, which helps make this first weekend intense. Then romantic Venus moves into Capricorn and gives us a chance to act in a more grounded manner. Saturn goes direct in Pisces, helping us all relax. As we enter a new month, the slate is wiped clean, and there are endless possibilities for growth. See what's in store for your relationships, career, and emotions in the month ahead. Here's your November horoscope for 2024. Aries, November brings 2 new moons. The first occurs in your transformative 8th house, encouraging a night for self-care and makeovers. Chatty Mercury moves into your philosophical 9th house, giving you a spiritual boost. Juno, the asteroid of commitment, moves into erotic Scorpio on the same day Mars moves into your pleasurable 5th house, in a day that's epic for love. Any casual flings will become more loving, and long-term partnerships should receive a renewal of passion. The second week of the month is excellent for professional opportunities, and the transformative planet finally moves out of Capricorn and settles into Aquarius, where it will stay until 2043, ushering in a new chapter. Wild Sagittarius season ends, and the second new moon of the month encourages you to do some professional planning after taking a break. Taurus, the month begins and ends with a new moon. The first one arrives in your romantic 7th house, bringing newness to your love life. When Mercury moves into your sexy 8th house, you're more interested in dirty talk. The first weekend of the month is super hot and romantic. With the asteroid of commitment moving into your 7th house and erotic Mars stationing in your cozy 4th, flings become serious and long-term relationships receive a boost of passion. Venus encourages you to think positively, and a full moon arrives in your sign, which could lead to wild nights. Transformative Pluto finally settles into Aquarius, ushering in a new chapter. Bold Sagittarius season ends, Mercury goes retrograde, and the month ends with a new moon starting a fresh cycle in your sex life. Gemini, a new moon early in the month encourages you to switch up your beauty routines. Get ready to have some serious relationship discussions early in the month when chatty Mercury moves into your romantic 7th house. You also get nudges from Juno, the asteroid of commitment, and the erotic planet Mars. Your relationships, in particular those of the romantic variety, are going through a makeover this month. Your task will be to allow yourself to let love into your heart. You feel spiritual during the Taurus full moon, and you also need to follow your heart here. Wild Sagittarius season begins, as does Mercury retrograde. The next few weeks are wild and romantic, but prone to misunderstandings. Patience is key. Cancer, it's important to get lots of rest this month. The first weekend of the month looks to be rather romantic, especially thanks to Juno, the asteroid of commitment, moving into your feel-good 5th house. The warrior planet Mars also helps you assert yourself at work, although people may be distracted due to election day. Venus brings blessings to a partnership, whether that's personal or professional. There's a full moon that's great for partying, and some Cancers may even end up making out with a friend. Pluto finally settles into Aquarius, ushering in a new era. And when the sun moves into Sagittarius, you're encouraged to prioritize self-care. This becomes even more important when Mercury goes retrograde just a few days later. Leo, there are 2 new moons that bookend the month. The first asks you to reevaluate your living space, while the second new moon is all about feeling good. Chatty Mercury stations in your pleasurable 5th house, giving you motivation to stay in bed whether you're sleeping or hooking up. The first weekend of the month is romantic, made more so by the fact that erotic Mars moves into your spiritual 12th house, which will add another layer of intimacy to sex and relationships. When Saturn goes direct, You may experience changes in your libido, and it's important to honor whatever comes up. A Taurus full moon could bring welcome career news. Then, when the sun moves into Sag, it's your task to prioritize your pleasure, whatever that means for you, and to see Mercury retrograde as an opportunity. Virgo, the first weekend of the month brings important conversations, likely with lovers, thanks to a new moon in your third house and chatty Mercury activating the part of your chart that rules the family. Juno, the asteroid of commitments, also wants you to talk things out. Mars brings a spiritual and perhaps even psychic day. Venus blesses your sex life and maybe even your wallet. Saturn goes direct, and someone is moving from a supporting to a leading role. Pluto settles into Aquarius, where it will stay until 2043. The next 2 decades should have you put more emphasis on your needs first, Virgo. When the sun moves into Sag, it's a lovely time to connect with friends and loved ones. Mercury goes retrograde, but it's just a chance to rest and recharge, especially around the second new moon that happens in your cozy 4th house. Libra, work and money will likely be on your mind during early November, thanks to a new moon in your opulent 2nd house and Juno, the asteroid of commitment, also moving into your 2nd house. However, this weekend also sees Mars affecting your friendships, indicating that you'll be happiest if you connect with friends. Sweet Venus encourages you to get cozy with friends or lovers, and when Saturn goes direct, it's your job to treat yourself to a beauty or wellness routine, further encouraged by a Taurus full moon. Pluto finally settles into Aquarius, indicating a pleasurable next 2 decades. When the sun moves into Sag, you're inspired to work on creative projects, even if Mercury goes retrograde. This is just an excuse to log off and focus on your art. Scorpio, your season ends this month and Sagittarius begins. However, when it does, the sun moves into your opulent 2nd house, making it a lovely time to make money. There's a new moon in your sign that sees a shift in self-esteem, inviting you to embrace confidence. Mercury could bring welcome news as it moves into your ambitious 2nd house. Juno, the asteroid of commitment, moves into your sign, seeing romance and commitment take place. A new moon brings a fresh start to partnerships. The biggest transit arrives when one of your ruling planets, Pluto, finally moves into Aquarius, where it will stay until 2043. Toward the end of the month, Mercury goes retrograde. Sagittarius, the month opens with a new moon that affects your spiritual 12th house, encouraging you to explore various avenues of worship. Mercury moves into your sign, reminding you of the importance of boundaries. This same weekend, thanks to Juno, the asteroid of commitment, and erotic Mars, you see a romantic partnership deepening and feeling divine. Generous Venus encourages you to ask for what you want regarding work and money. Saturn retrograde ends, encouraging you to make sure you're getting restful sleep and seeing some Sags talk to friends or partners about moving in together. The sun then enters your sign. Happy solar return. Don't let Mercury retrograde get you down. The month closes with another new moon, this one in your sign, that says you're allowed to give yourself a gift. Capricorn, November brings 2 new moons this month. The first affects your friendships, encouraging you to reach out to an old friend and reconnect. This first weekend of the month is also rather psychic, and Juno, the asteroid of commitment, further deepens your friendships. Erotic Mars moves into your 8th house and brings changes to your sex life. Overall, mid-November is a romantic time, even though some Capricorns may see a decline, rather than an increase, in their sex drive. Your ruling planet, Saturn, goes direct, and a full moon in your pleasurable 5th house is a wild night, but amazing for dates. Sagittarius season sees you wanting alone time, especially if you're stressed out by seeing family for the holidays. Mercury goes retrograde, which offers a chance to unplug, and the new moon at the end of the month is ideal for decompressing. Aquarius, There's a new moon in Scorpio that kicks off the month, which could bring welcome professional news or a party invite your way. Messenger Mercury, aided by Juno, the asteroid of commitment, makes your charisma skyrocket the first weekend of the month. Mars brings confidence, and Venus brings psychic help your way, so trust your intuition. Saturn goes direct in your second house, hopefully easing financial worries. A full moon begs you to stay in and get cozy. The biggest moment arrives when Pluto finally stations in your sign, where it will stay for 2 decades. The Sun enters Sagittarius, and it's a good idea to try to connect with your chosen family in addition to blood relatives in the next few weeks. Mercury retrogrades this month, so try to log off to reduce stress. A second new moon closes out the month, this one blessing friendships. Pisces. There are 2 new moons this month. The first one arrives in Scorpio and encourages you to learn new things and get creative. Then Messenger Mercury moves into your social 10th house, bringing party invites and a desire to see friends. Juno, the asteroid of commitment, sees you wanting to travel. And some Pisces get a boost to their sex drive, thanks to Mars. Lover Venus brings friendship to romance, and the Taurus full moon is likely best spent at home. Pluto settles into Aquarius, kicking off a chapter that could mean the next 2 decades are rather spiritual. The Sun moves into wild Sagittarius, and you could get welcome career news around this time. Mercury goes retrograde, but use it as an excuse to log off. And a new moon, this one in your social 10th house, encourages you to see your chosen family.